Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Nayla Shay, and I am back with another video. As you can see from the title below, I'm gonna be talking about how I found out I was pregnant and how everyone else found out and the reaction of everybody. The story that I'm gonna be telling you, it won't be 100% like everything that happened because it was a long time ago, like almost 9 months ago. So it won't be everything for like everything. But let's start off with how I found out. I remember I was at work basically. So being at work, and I don't know how, but the topic came up. All the girls, were talking about their cycle coming. The topic came up, and I was like, yeah, mine's about to come because I was cramping or whatever, like cramping really bad. So the whole day throughout work, I was basically going back and forth to the restroom, making sure just checking, and like I was kind of getting a little suspicion. So I'm like, the end of the day of work comes by, so I'm like, okay, maybe my period would come in the morning like it usually does. It usually comes in the morning. Maybe it'll come in the morning. So I wake up, and by morning time, my period is not here, like at all. And I'm like, whoa, what is going, like what? So I text my boyfriend, and I was like, I never got my period, and I'm scared. And he was like, oh no, baby, you good, and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a couple more days. I'm gonna give it a couple more days to go by. And so a couple of days go by, and I'm at my best friend's house. And mind you, this whole time I'm texting my boyfriend, keeping him updated with everything that's going on. I'm at my best friend's house, and like we're talking, and I'm like, come to a realization, like I still never got my period yet. So I'm like, what? Like I'm like, friend, like I think I'm pregnant, and she's like, no, you're not. I was like, but I think I am because I was been supposed to get my period. She's like, you're not, and I was like, I don't know. And I was like, let's go to the store so we could get, some pregnancy tests. And so, I don't know nothing about, I didn't know which ones to get. So I got the ones with the lines. I'm gonna add a picture. So I took those first. And like when I took them, the lines showed up really, really light. So you couldn't really tell if I was pregnant or not. So I was like, okay, I showed my best friend, and she was like, no, girl, you're not pregnant. And I was like, friend, I don't know, because these lines, they showing up light. We don't know. She was like, if you're pregnant, it will show up darker and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know. So I was still texting my boyfriend at the time. And he was like, what do you think, baby? What do you think and stuff? I was like, I don't know. I was just confused. Like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what to say. I was shocked. So we went back to the store. And we got the ones that actually say pregnant or not pregnant on it. So we got those. And mind you, I got about 3 boxes of those. I got 3 boxes, and each box came with 2. So I grabbed 3 boxes, and we went back to my friend's house. So once we got there, I went take 1. And so we waited a while. And so I was like, I had looked at it, and I was like, it said pregnant. And so I told my friend, I was like, it says pregnant. And she was like, no. And I was like, yes. And she was like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, too. And so I texted my boyfriend, and he was like shocked, and he called me. He was like, baby, are you for real? Yes. And I was like, I showed him the thing. So after that, I took all the rest of the tests just to make sure. I took all the rest of the tests. So they all came out pregnant, y'all, and my heart beating. I didn't know what to do. My heart is beating. I'm scared out of my mind. So me and my boyfriend texting. We like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? And you know, the first thing came to our mind was like, we can't have this baby. We're too young. Like, we can't do it. That's the first thing in our mind. So I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm pregnant. And she was like, girl, no you're not, no you're not, no you're not. And she didn't believe me at first. So I had to like really convince her. I was like, yeah, I am. And I showed her the little test. She was like, and after she just got quiet, she was like, Nene. Because, you know, that's what my parents call me and my family called me. She was like, Nene, Nene. She was just shocked. And like we ended up talking for a while and stuff. And then like the whole time we was thinking about, you know, not keeping the baby. It was a couple of maybe a month went by and we still hadn't done it. So like me, I'm getting attached. Like I could say I was probably about 3 months. 3 months. So it was almost too late to get an abortion. It was almost too late. So I was about 3 months. I was getting attached. So a point of time came around when I was like, I'm keeping my baby. I was like, I'm keeping my baby. And I had that strong feeling and nobody could tell me nothing. Like, nobody could tell me nothing. I had set my mind towards I'm keeping her whether you like it or not, whether you want to be in her life or not. So he ended up telling his mom. My boyfriend, he ended up telling his mom. She didn't really give us the reaction we thought she would. But like she was like he said he called her and he was like I gotta tell you something, and something it came up. Either he said it or she asked if I was pregnant, and she just started laughing. She was like, I knew it and da 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 da. That's the story that he told me. And so she was like, well, y'all shouldn't really tell nobody if y'all don't know what y'all gonna do. And so I was like, well, I know I'm keeping the baby. So my mom was sick. And so that happened. And he was like, my boyfriend was like, whatever I want to do, he's with, you know? He was by my side. So I had to tell my dad. This was the hardest thing to do. Telling my dad was so hard to do, y'all. Like, I was so scared. I know how he is and like what type of person he is. Like he's real old school about everything. So like with marriage and everything. So the way I told him, because I had ended up telling him I needed to talk to him in person. And so I guess he kind of knew what was coming because he was trying to avoid the situation. He was trying to avoid just having a talk. So I was like, he got to find out, or he got to know coming from me one way or another. So I called him. I tried calling him. He just knew, so he didn't want to. Yeah. So I ended up texting him a long paragraph, and I told him I'm keeping it. And of course he was mad and stuff. He was like, basically saying all kind of stuff. Like, I don't know where you gonna stay. Blah blah blah. Need a marriage, this and that. Basically, he was like, if we gonna do it, you gotta do it the right way. And I'm like, you don't have to be married to have a child. Like, you don't have to be married to have a child. And so like it was tough, like up until like my 5th month. It was so tough because he was just so disappointed. He never knew that it would be like his baby girl. Like, it was hard. It was so hard. my mom supported me, so it was support from her. My sisters all came to support, and like it's just hard trying to get my dad to support me. But at the end of the day, he did come around, and he is around, even though sometimes he just still like. He came around, he ended up helping with paying for the baby shower and stuff. His mom contributed a lot, so I'm thankful for her. And like we on good terms right now. Like I don't know, we were going like at the time, like while I was going through a lot with trying to deal with my dad, me and my boyfriend were going through a lot because we didn't know, we were so young, and it was so hard trying. Cause he was at the time he was away in college. It was so hard trying to comfort each other while being far apart. We didn't know how to comfort each other, so we just pulled away, more like pulled away from each other. But when the summer came, we got closer and we started to understand each other more. And like everything right now is good and great, and I am thankful for everybody that I have. I am thankful for just like God being able to help me get through that rough path, because now I am 9 months and I'm just ready for my baby to come, her precious self. I'm so ready for her to come. She was everything that we went through, everything that everything that we had to go through, it was all worth it because I just know she's going to be so beautiful, and I just know it's going to be worth it because that's a part of me and that's a part of somebody that I love so much. So I think I made the right decision no matter what nobody has to say. I think I made the right decision, and I think that my life is not gonna end. I think my life is gonna keep going because I want it to keep going, and because I'm gonna keep pushing no matter what nobody says. My baby, me, myself, we will not struggle, and we will not, just because she's here doesn't mean my life has to end. It only ends when you decide that it ends. So no matter what nobody says, I know I can do it. And that's just my story. And I know a lot of people can relate. Yes, my voice is getting a little different because it's making me sad, because like I really do like think this was the right decision that I made, because it's just I couldn't think of it no other way. And I know a lot of people probably judging me now, probably saying stuff about me, probably talk about me, but at the end of the day, I do not care because I have my daughter that's gonna be here. My support system is all the way up. So hate me, not like me, talk about me, don't care. But yes, guys, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna cut it. Okay, guys, that was the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications because there will be more videos to come. This story was a really hard story for me to tell. Like, it was really something. So that's why I had to cut it to be able to make the ending. So thank you for watching.